Man, what's up, everybody, man? What's happening? Welcome to the struggle zone, man. I say, look, right now, I really wanted to just touch on something right quick. Saneter did a live stream last night, I think, and he was talking about they had this guy King Face on his channel, Polight, and a couple more people, right? And this dude, and the topic was basically about black people voting, and they also was telling us that us fighting for reparations is begging, right? So I want to just touch on that right quick. First off, anybody who tells our people, man, that we shouldn't ask for something, demand something for our vote, is one, he's a fool, right? It's a fool. Why would you try to tell our people that they shouldn't vote? I mean that they shouldn't ask for something for their vote, right? And it makes no sense, right? So my thing is this: number one, at no time should we just give our votes away for free. That's number one. Number two, why is it only called begging when we ask for something? When the Hispanics ask for something, nobody says begging. LGBT, nobody says that they're begging, right? But these Negroes want to demonize brothers and sisters for demanding something from these politicians and saying that we're not voting until we get something for our vote. These same people who say this have lectures with black people supporting them. You dig what I'm saying? But once they make it to a certain level, a certain plateau where they feel like they're finally rubbing elbows with the upper echelon and stuff, Floyd Mayweather and all these other people, and they've been accepted by Europeans, now they have a habit of talking down to their people. And what I find out is that it's consistent with a lot of brothers and sisters who tend to make it to a certain level. Now they want to talk down to people. That's a problem. Polight does it. Young Pharaoh's doing it now. I've heard Ben X. I've heard all of them do it. This is why I don't get fascinated by people when they talk well. You know what I'm saying? You pay attention and you look at the contradictions. At no time should we ever give our votes away for free. Period. We should never be committed to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. That's just what it is. And anybody who tells us that, we should settle for the lesser two evils, lets me know that this dude don't know what the hell he's talking about. We've been settling for the lesser of two evils for the longest, and it has not gotten us anywhere. It makes no difference if you vote for Democrat or Republican. We should not be ever committed to a particular party. We should focus on the tangibles and what they have to offer. If they can't offer nothing, then they don't get our vote. If they don't offer us nothing for our vote, they don't get our vote. Period. And we got to stop allowing people who's not from here come here and tell us everything negative that they can think of. This is what King Face and other people do. They push negative stereotypes about us here in the U.S., right? But these people come from other places. These folks is essentially runaways. If you're so smart and so talented, why don't you do that stuff in your own country? Don't come here and try to tell us what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Because when we go to other people's countries, we go to other people's homes, we show up love and respect. But they don't have that same attitude when they come here. You dig what I'm saying? So this is the issue that I have with a lot of these guys, man. If you're Let me give you an example of what I mean. People talk about the Europeans, right? And they say that black folks is this and that, right? But when you look at how Europeans operate, whether it's wrong or right, they always support their own people. Let me say that again. Whether it's wrong or right, they always support their own people. So let me give you an example of what I mean when I say that, right? In the I think it was like in the 1800s. No, wait a minute. Mid to late 1800s, or whenever the Dawes Rolls came out. And for those of you who don't know, Dawes Rolls is the rolls for that was established by the Bureau of Indian Affairs to allocate land to Native Americans, right? So you had a group of Europeans who would go pay the Dawes Rolls so that they can be classified as Native Americans, although they have no Native or indigenous heritage, right? Now, the people that was running the Dawes Rolls during this time period, they didn't go against their own people. They accepted the $5. They allowed them to be on the Dawes Rolls. And not only did they allow them to be on the Dawes Rolls, they continue to perpetuate that same thing that these people is indigenous people when they're not. See, that's an example of how they stick together, right or wrong. If you have a group of black people saying, look, man, we finna go and see if we can't get some reparations out of these people and get what's owed to us out of these folks, man. It's long overdue, right? Why? What type of mentality would you have to have as a so-called black person to go against that? How does black people going to these people say, look, we demand something for our vote? How does that bother you so much that you would tell your people not to do that? Other people don't do that. They riding with their people regardless, no matter what happens. Let me give you another example of what I'm saying. Let's take the recent case, I think a few months ago, last year sometime, with Amber Geiger, when she went into this dude's apartment, killed him in his house. Her people didn't come out against her for it. You know what they did? They finessed the judge. They finessed the whole court to make sure she got a lighter sentence. They even got with the guy's family and got these people to apologize in open court. They had a black officer rub her down and pat her head. They allowed the judge to come down off her stand and hug this woman, and she went into somebody's apartment and killed somebody. You see how they ride together? And then one of the dudes that testified against her ended up dead. Another example, you have the cracker, Dylan Roof. He goes in the church, he kills 9 people. He kills 9 people. Most of them black women. But he killed black men and women in his church. What did his people do? His people took him out to eat. And not only did they take him out to eat, they raised funds for his legal defense. Our people is not out here killing people, mass murdering people. We're not doing that. We're saying, look, if y'all want something for if y'all want our vote, then we want something for it. And you got Negroes out here going against that. Polight. You got Negroes going against that. Our people ain't killing nobody. They just demanding what they feel is owed. We have a right to do that. So why would these cats go against? I understand why King Face is doing it, because he's an immigrant. He's Haitian. He's not from here. So he's going to feel that way. You dig? Because it doesn't include him. Now it makes me question where Polight is from. Is he actually from here? You dig what I'm saying? Think about that shit. Is he actually from here? Because at the end of the day, people talk about unity and how black people need to come together. Well, you got black people coming together, and they coming together for a particular cause, saying, "Look, we've been giving y'all our votes all these years, and we haven't gotten nothing for it. We're saying them days is over now. Y'all owe us, and we want it, or we not voting." You dig what I'm saying? That's what we supposed to do. That's what we supposed to do. And you have Negroes sitting here telling us, "Look, well, we 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 looking for handouts." That's what they said last night on Saneter's channel. Say we looking for handouts, right? Why is it that the Jews, when they go to this government, demand something? They demand something. You got the LGBT community. They goes to the government. They demanding something. You got the Hispanics. They going in. They demanding something. Other immigrants. They going in and they demanding something. Every group goes to the government for resources and benefits, specifically for their group. Everybody does it. So why is it that you have people like Polight, King? Well, I know King Face. He's an immigrant, like I said before. But why is it that people have a problem with us demanding what we want when everybody else does it? When the LGBT community wanted to get married, right? Nobody came out and said y'all don't need to be getting married. Why y'all begging? Why y'all actually going to the government for your hands out with your hands out, right? Nobody had an issue. You dig what I'm saying? Nobody. It's only when we demand what we want, people have an issue. And this is why I tell people, look, man, pay attention to people's contradictions. Their contradictions is going to tell you who they are, not what they say. Because a Negro will tell you anything, especially when he conning you, he's trying to get something out of you. He's hustling you. He's going to always tell you what you want to hear. This is why when you have the FBI, right, they the way they operate, they will watch somebody for 5, 6, 7, 10 years so they can see a pattern before they bring a case to them. Because when they get you, they gonna get you. You dig what I'm saying? So they watch you, critique everything you do, send people amongst you to gather information and bring it back. They wiretap you. They do all these things to watch you and see what you're going to do and see what you're doing. And I'm saying that this is something that we need to do on our own people. Or I'm not gonna say I'm gonna see on people who look like us. Because just because they have our same skin tone don't mean they from here. If they second and third generation, they gonna talk like us. If they was born here, they're gonna talk like us. So they're gonna look like us, they're gonna talk like us. What we need to start doing is start implementing mechanisms in place to identify who's who amongst our group. Because you get these guys who give you the impression that they're with us, but the whole time they don't identify with us. So now they gain the trust of the community, and now they're able to do so much fucking damage. They're able to do so much damage to the point where we may not be able to recover from it, or it's going to take us a minute to recover from it. You dig what I'm saying? So we're going to have to implement something in order to deal with people like that so we don't have these issues. At no time should people be asking us or telling us that we need to be voting. Hold on for a minute. And vote and not getting anything for our vote. You dig what I'm saying? Anybody tells us that us demanding something from this government is begging. If they want our vote, if then we say, okay, this is what we want for our vote, and then they tell you stop begging, stop having your hands out. No other group has been through what ours been through. Nobody. So we have a right to demand what we want for our vote. Going into these polls and voting and not getting anything for it. That's just like going to a 9 to 5 and you giving your labor to these people, but they tell you, but they don't want to pay you. So you go to your boss and your supervisor at this 9 to 5 job and say, man, where my check at? Why you got your hands out? Quit begging. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. That's just like going into a restaurant, paying for your food, and then the owners of this restaurant tell you, we're not going to serve you after you done paid. It's the same thing. So I'm not going to be on here long and go in too tough. But I want y'all to understand, man, anybody who tells you that you should not demand something for your vote, it's not your friend, they're your enemy. Anybody tells you that because you're going to the government and asking for something, you had your hands out or you're begging, that person is an enemy to our people. And we got to start calling people out, man, on this bullshit. Stop allowing these niggas to come amongst us and say whatever the fuck they want to say, and then they continue to come around like they ain't did shit. We got to put things in place in order to deal with these people, man. That's what we're going to have to do. Period. That's how we go. But I ain't going to be in here long going on. I just want y'all to focus. Stop being fooled by what people say. Pay attention to the contradictions. And the reason why I'm stressing pay attention to the contradictions, because if you ignore or if you deal with your emotions and not let your emotions get wrapped up in something, and you start paying attention to the contradictions, what those contradictions is going to do is going to show you a pattern. If you see a consistent pattern that's flawed in somebody, that means you might not need to trust that person because they're not consistent. If you see somebody who says that they're for their people, but their actions is showing something different, you need to go with their actions, not with what they're telling you. You dig what I'm saying? If somebody said they for their people, let me give you an example, right? If somebody say that they for their people, right, but every time you turn around, they're supporting people, institutions, they're supporting parties that's harming your people. They're not for you. They're not for you. And it's something you're going to have to understand. It took me a minute to focus and try to figure out what's going on, but I watch everybody and I pay attention. And I'm not mesmerized by what somebody say. I listen. While everybody else is emotional, I'm laid back in the cup, I'm listening, and I'm paying attention. Because a lot of things you will find out in what people don't say is what's going to tell a lot about what a person does in that person's character. You dig what I'm saying? So, man, that's it, man. I'm not going to be on this live all night, but I just wanted to let y'all know, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Get this commentary out, man. I plan on doing more lives and videos and stuff. We have some presentations that's coming up soon. So peace out, man. Welcome to the struggle zone. Don't let these niggas fool you by what they say. Pay attention to the actions and their contradictions, man. Peace out.